Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT network, as well as my own channel, Broncos Breakdown on YouTube. Thanks a lot, guys, for showing up. I really do appreciate it. This show is brought to you with emotion, passion, honesty, and of course, my comments as well as yours in the chat. I am your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys, thanks so much for showing up. Really do appreciate it. A lot of different directions. Obviously, I'm going to save the best for last, which was last night's draft. But I got some other Broncos news and Jackass of the Week to bring you. It's not going to be that long of a show because, well, I mean, it could be. We could talk all night about the draft and some of the craziness that happened there. But we'll get to that as the show progresses. All right, guys, just hope each and every one of you had a wonderful week, getting ready for the weekend. Stopped in to watch this crazy guy talk sports, and hopefully, you guys can chime in with your thoughts and what you think, and I really do appreciate it because I will get to them as I always do. Guys, fantastic night last night. Like I said, things went kind of crazy with some of the teams. But there was a lot of definite emotion around Broncos country, and we will definitely talk about that. Before I get into the first topic, Bronco in Virginia says, Bronco Bill. I said, hey, man, what's up there, Bronco, Virginia? How you doing, my friend? How you doing? Hey, before I get going, I just want to let everyone know right up front, I'm going to also reiterate it towards the end of the show. Tonight's game 3 of the Colorado Avalanche, Winnipeg Jets, Avalanche neighborhood will not be aired. Reason being is Madungus Creevy lives in western side of Nebraska. He has tornado warnings and some high winds, and they're just asking everybody to shelter down. And of course, if he can't get on the internet and he has to worry about his family, which is understandable, I said, hey, buddy, worry about your family. And he goes, I really want to do the show. I said, I understand. Worry about your family. All right. So instead of tonight, we're going to do Sunday's game. Now that's an 11:30 Pacific Standard Time start. So it's 11, 12, 1, and 2, wherever you may be. So we're going to do that game on Sunday. We're just not doing the Avalanche neighborhood game tonight. So I want everybody to know, sorry about that, but tune in on Sunday. All right. G Money is batting second in the chat. G Money 88, what's up, man? He says, I really like the Bo Nix pick. He's the most NFL ready to play day one. Thanks as always for the show, Bronco Bill. Also go Avs. That's why I'm wearing an Avalanche hat. Avalanche game starts at 7 Pacific time tonight. So I'm getting ready for that. Kamani Dixon batting third. All right. Kamani said, Bill. I said, what's up, Kamani? Nice to see you as always. We will get G Money 88. We'll get to that Broncos pick with Bo Nix. That's going to be the last topic. So stick around. I promise you guys we'll get to that. We'll discuss it. We'll get your thoughts throughout the entire show on that. But I do want to touch on some other Bronco news as well as the Jackass of the Week. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Bronco in Virginia. He says 11:30 p.m. Pacific time. That's in the morning. Yes, that's in the morning. 11:30 Pacific time, which is really early for a Sunday. Really, really early, which means it's 12:30 in Denver. So that's really an early game. So I got to work Sunday at the golf course, but I'm going to cut out early and get back home so I can make sure I do that Avalanche neighborhood. All right, kicking off the show. I'm going to talk, and I know that this has been talked about, but it wasn't talked about on my show because it happened after the following week after my show. Here it is. The Denver Broncos released their new uniforms for all of Broncos country and everybody to see. Removed is the striping down the sides the ones that went down the sides and curled over, removed the striping down the sides, and replaced with something called a mountain peak and snow on the orange sleeves. So it's kind of like over here. It's got like a little mountain peak. I can show you some pictures real quick. I know you guys have seen this 100 times, but I might as well show you guys again, just so you know what I'm talking about, in case some people haven't seen my show or the uniforms or whatever. Okay, here they are. First one is this one. I'm going to show you real quick. This is their orange one. This is what I'll show you. There you go. There it is. Back up, will get focused. Okay, so you got this peak right here. Right there. They're calling that a peak with the snow cap on it. Okay. Then you've got the dark one. Then you've got the dark jersey, which I love the dark jersey, period. Doesn't matter. I just like the stripes the way they were. Here's the dark jersey. With, again, the shoulders showing the orange and whatnot. And it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. Let me continue with the thing here. It says, and the rising or setting sun over the mountain peak, and I say mountain peak because it doesn't look like it. A lot of people said it looks like a lightning bolt, which I agree, on the white and blue jerseys. They also brought back the throwback uniforms as well as the all-orange rush jersey. I'm not in favor of it. I know it probably grow on me down the road. Obviously, if we go to the playoffs and we get to the Super Bowl, or even if we just get to the playoffs, which we haven't had in 8 years. So, yeah, it will grow on me. I just am not in favor of it now. I like the uniforms we had. I really do. Absolutely, really do. In fact, I think I have 3 or 4 of them. I have a Peyton Manning. I have a John Lynch. I have those are blue. Peyton Manning, John Lynch. Another blue one, I thought. Peyton Manning, John Lynch. I do have a Von Miller. That's an orange one. I do have an old school, which I really liked. John Elway one that my son got me. And then I also have a Terrell Davis one, and that one's blue. So I do have 3 of those. I got 4 because Von Miller, but it's the orange one. But still, I like those jerseys. These ones, okay, they'll probably grow on me, but right now, I'm just not ready to embrace them, just because I'm so used to the other ones that we had for 25 years. So, yeah. Kamani Dixon says, I love the dark one. I like dark jerseys. I really do. I like dark colors. I don't really like light colored things. I love dark colors. I like the orange right here that's on here. I like the blue, the navy blue. It's just, that's just me. That's just me. I'm not expecting everybody else to agree with me. I'm just saying, me in particular, I really don't like I don't like the one on the side here. Look, they say it's a mountain. Well, if you're gonna make a mountain, make a mountain like this, a mountain peak, not like a line like this. It looks like a thunderbolt. I mean, we don't want that. That's what the Chargers have. Why are we trying to copy? And then the other thing is that they got the stripes on the side here. A lot of teams have stripes on the side. Why? Why are we copying? Let's be different. We were different. Now we're not. I mean, people say, yeah, we are, because we got like little mountain peak. And they'll say, yeah, okay, well, all right. I mean, if that's what they want to call it, and that's what it is. Come on, he says, Bill, come to the dark side. Well, that's what I'm saying. I like the dark jersey. So in a way, maybe I am, but hey, I don't know. All right. The Broncos have signed a cornerback to be opposite of Patrick Surtain. Now I know there's other cornerbacks, not cornerbacks that Denver has, but it's never bad to have, a room full of certain players in a certain category, because then you can weed out the ones that are not that good, or, elevate the ones you didn't think were good, and then they make it better. So here we go. Last Monday, the Denver Broncos signed cornerback Levi Wallace to a 1-year deal. Wallace, 29 years, of age, has played 83 games in his career with Buffalo and Pittsburgh Steelers. Wallace is the 5th veteran unrestricted free agent to be signed to a 1-year deal on the Broncos. Wow. Well, we signed another 1-year deal. I'll get to that in just a moment. But yeah, I mean, why are they signing 1-year deals? Well, in my opinion, it's because the Broncos have to swallow $85 million worth of dead money because of Russell Wilson. And they're paying $53 million of that up front this year. So they can't sign multiple contracts or multiple deals because it's going to cost them a mint. So they just can't do it. So doing a 1 year and then, hey, maybe next year things work out differently or whatever, they can then, if they like the play of the players and their game and their production, then yes, then what they can do is then they can say, okay, we're going to go ahead and sign you to 2 or 3 years, however they want to do it. But it's pretty smart to sign them for a 1-year deal to see how they're going to play, see if they're worth their salt, so to speak. That's an old saying. So yeah, that's the reason why there are multiple Broncos signings that are just 1-year deals. All right. Speaking of 1-year deal, this is not a 1-year deal. This is a 1 year a year pickup. Here it is. The Denver Broncos have officially picked up Patrick Surtain's 5th-year option, which is a no-brainer. Absolutely no-brainer. You know, you got the best cornerback in the entire league. And why wouldn't you pick up his 5th-year option? I mean, that is an absolutely no-brainer decision. All right. This is confirmed by Adam Schefter. Also, this keeps Surtain in Denver through the 2025 season and hopefully beyond. Here's my thought. With the Broncos picking up Pat Surtain's 5th-year option, this is his 4th year in 2024. Okay. So this is his 4th year, which means we have him through 2025. So after that season, if Denver wants to sign him to multi-year contract, absolutely. They have that option. And they have him locked up through 2025. That's fantastic. You never want to let any one of your I was going to say you never want to let any one of your cornerstone players leave or be cut. Well, that's what they did with Justin Simmons. And I said over and over and over, you can't do this to multiple cornerstone players on the Broncos. And in a way, in my opinion, they did, because they got rid of Justin Simmons. They let him go, which is stupid. Still stupid in my opinion. And then they traded Jerry Jeudy to the Cleveland Browns. I mean, people say, well, Jerry Jeudy wasn't this and he wasn't that and whatnot. Hey, you know what? Jerry Jeudy is a veteran. He is a route runner. Mentioned that many times. Russell Wilson is not a pocket precision passer. I mean, he's got precision, but he's not a pocket passer. He improvises. So if you got Jeudy going left left or right or whatever, how you're viewing it, and Russell Wilson's going the other direction, he's not going to see him. Well, we don't know what what the quarterbacks of the Broncos, with Jared Stidham and and I'm not going to name the other two because I'm going to get into those topics too. But we don't know how that would have played out. But it's too late now. It's water under the bridge, so to speak, and can't cry over spilt milk and all those sayings and cliches because he's in Cleveland. So we move on. I know we have Tim Patrick and I know we have Mims. I get that. But I don't know. It just seemed to me that Jerry Jeudy was, one of the guys that you thought would stick around. So thank goodness we still have Cortland Sutton because we let him go. And I know that there's wide receiver heavy in the draft and round 2 is underway right now, but the Broncos don't have a number 2 pick, or not number 2, but a second round pick unless they trade up. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on because I'm here. I'll find out later. But, if the Broncos draft a wide receiver, fine. But we need a lot more, we had a lot more positions filled than just wide receiver. We have an awful lot. We got a very, very key one last night, but we need a lot more. All right, let me go back to oh man, this sweatshirt's, I didn't realize how long these sleeves are in the sweatshirt. Anyways, okay, going back to the chat. Kamani Dixon says, I think Justin Simmons will be back. I thought about that for a long time since he hasn't been picked up. A lot of people think it's because Justin Simmons is waiting to see the certain teams he wants to go to that have a chance to get him to the Super Bowl, whether they drafted a safety. Well, that didn't really show its head in round one. So it'll be interesting to see if he's really, focused on another team other than Denver. I know he would love to stay in Denver. He wanted to stay in Denver. Again, everybody says, it was a money issue. Well, everything's a money issue. But they could have gone a different direction than releasing Justin Simmons. So I don't know what the deal was. I mean, to me, it has to be something other than money. Because I think he was only going to get $14 million or something like that, I believe. And they couldn't find that somewhere else? Really? Seriously. No, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I think there was something else going on. I just don't know what that something else is or was. I don't know. All right. Leona Martinez, batting cleanup. The fourth person to come in the chat. Lino Martinez, thank you so much for chiming in. He says, very stupid. I totally agree. Justin Simmons not being on a team. And he also says, I hope he'll be back. I do too. Absolutely hope he'll be back. Like I said, they never should have let him go. It was the stupidest move in the world, in my opinion. Kamani Dick says, Bill, if the Broncos trade up, I will let you know I'm watching the draft. All right, cool. Cool, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. Just wanting to know if they go after a defensive player, like a pass rusher, if they go after offensive line help, wide receiver. I don't know. I'd be surprised if they went for a punter or a kicker. That might be way down the line. Obviously not in the second or third round. But again, they don't have a second unless they trade up. So that'll be interesting. Be interesting to find out. Thanks a lot, Kamani, for keeping me in the loop. Really do appreciate it. Thanks, man. Because I know if I had my phone on right next to me over here and watch, I'd be like this the whole time. You guys wouldn't like that. So I'm not going to do that. Kamani says, I got you hit, man, Bill. Whatever happened. Okay. Let's see. Lino Martinez says, what is our number pick? I know it's third round. 50-something, 60-something? I think it would have to be in the 60s because each round has 32, so that's 64. So that would be probably early 70s. Probably early 70s would be the pick. I don't know exactly, but that's what I'm assuming. Kamani will probably be able to answer that question for you, Lino, in the chat. So, all right. The Broncos have a new quarterback. No, I'm not talking about the one from last night. I'm talking about the one about 4 days prior to last night. Here it is. The Denver Broncos and the New York Jets have made a trade just days before the draft. Denver receives quarterback Zach Wilson. So we got Wilson is back in the house. Just not Russell. Yeah. A lot of people said they didn't really want Zach Wilson either. Some people wanted Tannehill. Well, hey, sometimes you just got to do things that people don't expect. All right. Denver receives quarterback Zach Wilson and a 7th-round pick, which is going to be this year, while the Jets get Denver's 6th-round pick. Also, both teams will split Wilson's $5.5 million salary for 2024 season. This is confirmed and from ESPN and NFL Network. Well, we all know that the Broncos got Zach Wilson because, like I said, when this stuff happens prior to my show, I can't just ignore it. I can't just jump over it and just talk about other things because it's pertinent to the team. It's pertinent to what happened and transpired this past week. So there may be people that are out of town. Maybe people just not paying attention, or maybe people just want to hear this crazy 65-year-old guy talk about it and act crazy and goofy and passionate and nutty. I don't know. But whatever it is, that's why I bring up these topics that have happened this past week. So, yes, the Broncos have signed Zach Wilson. And it says that the Jets and the Broncos will split Wilson's $5.5 million contract. So that each one is paying like what, 2.25 million. Each team's gonna pony up. That's nothing. So Denver made out in the deal. The Jets, in a way, made out in the deal. They got rid of their quarterback that they didn't really want to hang on to because they have Aaron Rodgers coming back from Achilles tendon. Well, we'll see how that works out. That'll be interesting as well. So, anyways, Broncos have Zach Wilson and Jared Stidham as their quarterbacks. But after the Broncos signed Zach Wilson, it is reported, this wasn't reported by any specific person or outlet, but it says per sources. So per sources, the Denver Broncos, after trading for Zach Wilson, are expected to decline his fifth-year option of $22.4 million in 2025. Now, that seems a little strange to me, and I'll tell you why. The reason why it seems strange is this was days before the draft. Nobody knew who Denver was going to get in the draft, if a quarterback was going to fall to them, if no quarterback was going to fall to them and they were all taken, and they had to get somebody else. So why would they come out and say that they are not expected to pick up his fifth-year option? It just seems strange to me that you would sign a guy for 1 year, which is basically 2024, obviously, not pick up his fifth-year option of $22.4 million heading into 2025. Why would you sign a guy? I know it was insurance. It was an insurance policy. Now, Sean Payton has come out and said, well, it wasn't a smokescreen. It wasn't pulling the wool over the other team's eyes that we got Zach Wilson. No, it wasn't any of that. Come on. Really? BS. I'm not buying that. Sean, you can say all you want, but I can't buy the fact that you turn around, not you personally, but the organization, whomever, through sources, is saying that the Broncos are expected to decline the fifth-year option of Zach Wilson. Why? Why would you get him for 1 year then? In hopes that, in fear that you wouldn't get a quarterback in the draft in the first round? That you wouldn't get your, quote, franchise quarterback in the first round? Is that why you signed Zach Wilson? And then if you do get your franchise quarterback in the first round, then you let Zach Wilson go at the end of the season? Okay. You got to do what you got to do. It just seems strange, though, that they would say that just days prior to the draft, not even knowing who the Broncos were going to get. It wasn't guaranteed. There's nothing guaranteed in the draft. We'll get to a very, very strange pick. So you never know who may fall in your lap, who you may have to trade up in the draft to get. And we'll talk about that. So you just don't know. It just seems really bizarre to me that they would go ahead and say, we're not going to pick up his fifth-year option when the draft hadn't even taken place. And Zach Wilson hasn't even, played it down on the Broncos. I don't know. It was mind-boggling. I know it all worked out, and we'll get to that. I know it, well, so far it has on paper, but, we'll find out, as the season goes or gets into and the OTAs and the preseason and all that, we'll find all that out. It just really kind of made me think, what in heaven's name why would you come out and say that now? I hadn't even played it down on the Broncos yet, and you're already cutting his throat, so to speak, or his pocketbook anyway. Oh my gosh. Kamani, thanks for saying that. Kamani, let's Lino Martinez know that the Broncos picked number 76 in the third round. Yeah, I figured it had to be in the 70s. I didn't think it'd be that high or mid 70s. Thought it'd be lower, but yeah. All right. Great. Thanks a lot, Kamani. Really do appreciate it. Let's see. Kamani also says they should have kept Wilson and he could have mentored Bo Nix. I said that in my show. I said that in my shows a couple shows back. After Wilson was let go. I said, why not keep Wilson for the 2024 season, draft a quarterback, and he can learn under Russell Wilson? And I even said, not necessarily how Russell Wilson does things on the field, because quarterbacks are different. What I was referring to is the way things are done. In other words, the game plan, the preparation, how quickly you have to get in and out of the huddle, how quickly you have to, read your defenses and read your plays or change plays or go to audible or whatever you got to do. That's the things that a drafted quarterback could learn under a veteran quarterback. And yes, a Super Bowl champion quarterback. Well, against our Denver Broncos, but he's Super Bowl champion anyways. That's what I was referring to. And Kamani, you nailed it. That's exactly what I said should have happened. Now, we only have Zach Wilson and Jared Stidham, not even close to a Russell Wilson. Now, maybe not Russell Wilson the last several years, but at least a Russell Wilson that still knows what it takes, I would think, on how to prepare for a game, what you got to do mentally, physically, weight room, all this stuff. Yeah, you learn that from a seasoned veteran. You don't learn it from a Zach Wilson who's only been in the league for 3 years, 4 years. You don't learn it from a Jared Stidham who's never been a starting quarterback. Seriously, you don't learn from them guys. And then people are saying, yeah, I know, but we got Sean Payton. Well, Sean Payton, not a quarterback. And, sometimes you need to pick up the phone and go, hey, Peyton Manning, what do you think? Hey, Drew Brees, what do you think? Just saying. Sometimes you got to do that. I just don't understand why. I know they did it because they didn't want to pay him the $35 million. Oh, but instead they'll just pay him $85 million. Yeah, well. I know, guys, you have to pay the $85 million on top of that and all that. I get that. But that's a contract that George Payton signed along with Russell Wilson. And so now he's backtracking and spinning wheels backwards to try and get out of it. Well, hopefully it doesn't hurt the Denver Broncos moving forward. Hopefully it doesn't. But I totally agree with you, Kamani. It should have been Russell Wilson mentoring, not Sean Payton. Not Zach Wilson mentoring. That's who it should have been. Not going to happen, but that's who it should have been. All right. Let's see. Travis Johnson in the house, batting fifth. He said he did not like Russ as a person. Russell Wilson was a little bit arrogant. Well, not a little bit more than a little bit arrogant, pompous. I would say prima donna, if I could say that. He comes into Denver with Nathaniel Hackett, the head coach, immediately wants his own office, his own entourage. Entourage. I think that's how you say it. And just, following him around and having all this and that and everything and whatnot. And Nathaniel Hackett's all good with that. And then Sean Payton comes in and Sean Payton, not on my watch, dude. Not going to happen. And Russell Wilson didn't like it. And they got heated conversations or one-sided conversations on the sidelines multiple times. And it just wasn't going to work. So I understand why they sent him down the road, so to speak. I get that. I just don't like the fact that we don't have a really good seasoned quarterback to mentor a young drafted guy. That's all I'm saying. And I know you guys see who it is underneath my name right here, and that's all well and good. We'll get to that, but I just don't want. I want to get to some other, two more other things before I get to the main topic. It's not going to be that long of a show, guys, because just a lot of stuff was basically focused around the draft. So I'm going to spend most of the time on that as we did last night in the draft neighborhood. It was a lot of fun. You guys that were in there watching stuff, it was a blast. We had a really, really good time. Really good time. All right, guys, do me one favor, please. Please hit the thumbs up, the like button. That lets everybody know you enjoy the show. Lets everybody else know, hey, man, this is something I think I'd like to check out. Really do appreciate it. It costs you nothing, and it helps out tremendously. Thanks, guys, for all of your support. Really do appreciate it. Okay. Kamani says, I'm going to say it and don't care who don't like, but Sean Payton is overrated. Woo-wee. Holy smokes, Kamani. Did you just blow that up or what? Hang on a second. Overrated in what way? I know Sean Payton's only won Super Bowl. I understand that. He's been out of head coaching for was a year before last year with the Broncos. I understand that. Overrated in what way? I don't know. I don't know what direction you're going. So fill me in on that. I'd like to know what you think about that or what your thoughts are as far as being overrated. I may agree with you. I probably will on maybe a point or two. But in my opinion, a Sean Payton is head and shoulders above Nathaniel Hackett. And there really wasn't anybody out there that was going to come to Denver because they all went elsewhere. So to land a Sean Payton, and Sean Payton has a lot of football knowledge. He knows what he wants. He knows, in my opinion, he knows how to get the best out of players, in my opinion. I mean, look what he did with Drew Brees. Look what he did with Drew Brees. Drew Brees was cast off by the Chargers back in the day. He goes to New Orleans, and Sean Payton turns him into a Super Bowl champion. And a lot of people are saying that Drew Brees is a Hall of Fame quarterback. I mean, that's to be debated. But I will say that Sean Payton did have a definite hand in elevating Drew Brees' ability as an NFL quarterback. Absolutely. All right. Kamani says that in making player moves. Oh, you're talking about like getting rid of Justin Simmons, Cushenberry, Josie Jewell. Some of those guys, they were unrestricted free agents. They could go. It wasn't like he cut them. Some of them were unrestricted free agents. So he didn't really have a hand in that. That's more of a George Payton thing, whether or not he wants to offer these guys contracts or whatnot. I will admit, though, that the Justin Simmons move and the Jerry Jeudy trade, those two I don't like. And those two are 100%. You are dead on, Kamani, 100% on Sean Payton's lap. He's the one that did it. Absolutely the one that did. Now, sure, he's got to have some, communication with George Payton. There's no doubt about that. But ultimately, it is his decision, his choice, along with Russell Wilson. But again, that's a money thing. So that it falls in George Payton's lap as well. And it also falls in the ownership lap. So there's a lot of hands in the cookie jar on some of these moves. I can't put all the blame on Sean Payton, but I can certainly put a majority of it on Sean Payton, but not all of it. Not all of it by any stretch of the imagination. It involves way too many people. It involves the ownership. It involves George Payton. It involves Sean Payton. There's a lot of different players involved in that. But you are right. He does have issues with player moves. Yep, that is a fact. All right. Let's see. Travis Johnson says, look what he did with Russ. You're talking about getting rid of him, or you're talking about, in my opinion, how he undermined, or he, what was the word I used? He sabotaged. He sabotaged Russell Wilson, especially in the game against the New England Patriots. We should have won that game. No doubt about it. No problem whatsoever. We should have won that game going away, and we didn't. We lost that game. And in my opinion, Sean Payton sabotaged Russell Wilson because he didn't want Russell Wilson on the team. That's my opinion. I can't prove it. I'll never be able to prove it because Sean Payton will never admit it. But how in heaven's name can you beat the Chiefs, the Vikings, the Browns, the Bills, and the Packers 5 straight with Russell Wilson, but you can't beat the New England Patriots? Really? Seriously? Yeah. I will forever believe that Sean Payton sabotaged Russell Wilson because he didn't want him on the team. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And if anybody else can prove me wrong or have a different theory, okay, I'll accept it. Well, I'll listen to it. I might not accept it 100% because I just can't explain how Russell Wilson could win those games against those 5 teams. 4 of them went to the playoffs. Packers, Bills, Chiefs, Browns. The only one that didn't go to the playoffs was the Vikings. And they Vikings, when the Broncos played them, were on a 5-game winning streak of their own. So they were not a pushover by any stretch of the imagination. And Denver win those games. But for some reason, Russell Wilson can't beat the Patriots. Okay. All right. I'm done with that whole thing. As far as I'm concerned, that I will forever believe that. All right, guys, we are going to the jackass of the week. All right, guys, this week's jackass of the week is bizarre to me. It's really bizarre. I mean, every jackass of the week is bizarre to me because I just don't understand the mindset of people who do stupid knee-jerk reaction type of things. And I understand that if you're caught up in the moment and you're caught up in the heat of the emotion or passion or whatever, doesn't matter. Use your God-given head, brain. Use your brain. Think about it. Think before you react. Wow, is this something I should do? I mean, I just don't get it. Okay. But this one also has a twist to it at the end, which is equally bizarre. So here we go. Denver Nuggets center Nikola Jokic, not Jokic, not Nikola Jokic. His brother allegedly punched a fan in the head at Ball Arena after the Nuggets buzzer beater against the LA Lakers last Monday. What? What the heck what is going on? You know that Jokic, Nikola Jokic's brother is going to be, I don't know, in the limelight, in the spotlight. They're at the game. His Jokic, Nikola's wife is at the game. Okay. And his child and his 2 brothers, his older brother and his younger brother, they're all there watching the game at Ball Arena against the LA Lakers. And if you guys don't know about the buzzer beater, what happened was the game was tied. I believe it was 99. And that's 4th quarter. Their seconds are winding down. And Jamal Murray gets the ball and he drives towards the basket, kind of steps back 1 or 2 steps, shoots the ball up as the buzzer goes off, and the ball gets nothing but net. And the Nuggets beat the Lakers to go up 3-0. This is in this is Ball Arena. So that was game 2. I'm sorry. How could that be Ball? That's wrong. It's not Ball Arena. They were in LA at the buzzer beater. Or was it? Anyways, I'm going to continue. Anyways, so Jokic's brother, we'll get to his name here in a minute. So let me just read it. We'll get to you. A posted video shows Jokic's older brother, and this can be a stranger name, but Strahanja, I'll just say Strahanja, pushes his way down a row to approach a male fan. He is then seen throwing a punch towards the fan's head. Is this a Nuggets fan? Is this a Lakers fan? Most likely a Lakers fan, although I don't think there's that many there in Ball Arena. But, I mean, that's what it says. It's what it says, that it didn't say whether it was a Nuggets fan or a Lakers fan. It just says throwing a punch towards the fan's head. The police department, and here's the twist, okay? The police department told Fox 31 News Denver the incident wasn't reported to Denver police and no one has come forward as a victim of the incident. However, the NBA as well as the Denver Police Department are asking the public to come forward with anybody that has seen anything, that watched it, that recorded it, to turn it over to the police so they can go and try and find the victim and see, if they want to press charges or just what the damage was done, if any. But that's interesting to me that nothing was reported to the police. No arrests have been made. And everybody's like, okay, well, hey, you know what? Just come along, punch me in the face, and we'll just call it a good day. What? And Jokic's brother? Seriously? What are you thinking, man? Your brother is playing an NBA playoff game basketball. Okay? Playoff basketball game. Playoff. It's not some, little pickup basketball game, down at some basketball court somewhere in a park or whatever. And, you get a little heated, you push a guy, go, hey, man, you get out of my way, whatever. It's not that. And you don't do it anyways. No one gives you the right to just get all upset about whatever might have been said or whatever. Just shut your pie hole. Shut your mouth. Shut your trap. Don't say anything. Ixnay. Silent. Just walk away. Be the better man. Be the better person. Because now you this is a whole thing that I was talking about earlier. When brothers of athletes do stupid things, then all of a sudden the spotlight goes on to the athlete. They're going to ask, Nikola Jokic, hey, man, what was up with that? We may not hear it in the news, or we may, but a lot of stuff has to be said behind closed doors. Hey, man, what was up with your brother? Dude, what's happening? What was he? Freaking screw loose? What's going on? Why is he acting like that? Come on, man. We're trying to focus. We're trying to stay our head in the game, and we got this going on. Now we got to deal with the press asking us questions. That happens. It has to happen. It happens in everyday life. It happens in families. You get siblings who go, hey, man, what's up with so-and-so? Why is he all pissed off? Why is he all it happens. It's life. That's what happens. But when you're in a spotlight as an NBA superstar like Jokic is, and his brother's off trying to punch some dude in the head over whatever, wasn't said because it wasn't reported. I don't get it. I absolutely don't understand the mindset with these guys. I really don't. I mean, I understand if somebody were to say something or push someone's wife. Let's say, someone pushes my wife or gets in her face or whatever, I'm going to defend. Absolutely, I'm going to defend. But that's not what it said here. The video, there was someone taking video of this because it said a video revealed. Now, they didn't say if there was any, previous altercation. That probably wasn't on video. But once Jokic starts going after, Jokic's brother, I should say, starts going after this guy and wants to knock his head off or whatever, I mean, people are going to start videotaping. And sometimes that's a good thing because you can show that to the police, say, hey, this is exactly what happened. Not making this up. It's exactly what happened. And it could be good for the defendant. It could be good for the victim. It's not going to be too good for the person who started the the altercation. That's not going to be good for him. So I like I said, I just don't understand the mindset of these guys. I really don't. Absolutely don't get it one bit. All right, guys, that was the jackass of the week. Okay, Kamani said that was game 2. You're right. That's why it was Ball Arena. Yeah, obviously last night was game 3, so it wouldn't have been last night. So, yeah, I stand corrected. That's what threw me off, is because I remember seeing the highlights of last night. They won. Nuggets won 112. 112.98, 112.96, I think, something like that. Anyways, so obviously it wasn't last night. So thanks, Kamani, for keeping this guy on track. Really do appreciate it. But that was ridiculous. I don't get it. Absolutely do not get it. Oh, yeah, 112, 105. Thanks, Kamani. See, you're all right, man. That's why I keep you around, dude. That's why I love having you around, man. You got all the answers. Really do appreciate it. Well, I was busy doing the draft neighborhood, so I didn't have the game on. I did see the final score. Just the 112 stuck in my mind, not the 105. So, all right, do appreciate it. Thanks so much for that. Come on, he says, anybody that is Chargers, Chiefs, and Raiders fans are my jackass of the week and beyond. I love it. I love it, man. That's a really good one. That's a really, really good one, Kamani. Great to say that. I always wanted to get a shirt that says my 2 favorite teams are the Denver Broncos and anybody who plays the rest of the AFC West. I love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Speaking of the draft, we are going to get in the last 2 topics is draft related. First one is about a draft pick that was a little bit shocking, not shocking, but a little bit, like scratching your head, like, what the heck was that about? All right, here it is. The Atlanta Falcons at number 8 selected an offensive lineman to help out Kirk Cousins. No. Wide receiver? That would be perfect. No. Maybe a running back? No. They signed quarterback Michael Penix. What? They signed Michael. Wait a minute. Something's wrong here. They signed Michael Penix after they had guaranteed Kirk Cousins $100 million of his 120 something, 140, whatever, 140, whatever, it doesn't matter. 100 million guaranteed. And then they go out and they sign Michael Penix? Really? Kirk, oh, by the way, listen to this. Not to mention the GM of Atlanta didn't notify Kirk Cousins till the selection was in. So Kirk Cousins is sitting back going, man, it'd be great to get a wide receiver. It'd be great to get an offensive lineman. It'd be great to get this guy, that guy, whatever. Hello? What? You're taking a quarterback? You got to be kidding me. I can just imagine. What was going through his head. Like, what in heaven's name? Oh, that means that my 3-year contract is only 3 years or less. I mean, obviously he's got to be thinking that because Kirk Cousins only signed a 3-year contract. I mean, it's just, I know, and Kamani, you nailed it. You said that Kamani said he will be the quarterback of the future. That's true. He will be the quarterback of the future. But to blindside a person, I mean, why couldn't the GM have gone to Kirk Cousins and said, hey, listen, we're thinking about drafting a quarterback. Not to start right away because we have you. You're a seasoned quarterback. We want to draft a quarterback so that when he's ready in 2 or 3 years, he'll be ready to step in should anything happen to you. You're coming off an Achilles tendon tear. We hope you're 100%, but we won't know. We just need to have an insurance plan as well as our future quarterback. I understand that. What is wrong with being honest? What's wrong with being upfront? But they weren't. And that's the thing that bothers me. And I'm not an Atlanta Falcons fan, but I'm thinking about what if that would have happened, heaven forbid that would happen in Denver. What if? You can't do that to people. You can't blindside them like that. I mean, Kirk Cousins must have been going, what in heaven's name is going on with these guys? I mean, they acted like they wanted me. They played it off like they wanted me. They signed me to this long, this $100 million guaranteed contract and beyond, money wise. And now they go and draft a quarterback. I mean, I understand that you got to take the guy that you really have your eye on, but be forthright. Go to Kirk Cousins and say, hey, man, this is what we're thinking about doing. We want to get your perspective. We want to get your thoughts. We're not trying to kick you out of the building. We just signed you for 3 years for $100 million plus, but $100 million of it guaranteed. So we're not telling you we want you to leave. We want you to stay, but we want to make sure that we have a future in the house. Nope, that's not what they did. They blindsided him, and in my opinion, that is absolutely 1,000% wrong. Now, in my opinion, how does Kirk Cousins trust these guys now? How does he trust him? They say one thing, do another. Or they don't say anything and do something. In this case, I find it wrong. I find it totally wrong. Totally wrong. Dishonest. Totally dishonest. Not up front. Absolutely treating your players like they don't need to know what we're doing. We're going to do what we want to do, and then we'll tell them later. No, that's not how you deal with people. You don't do that. Anyways, I continue. And that, like I mentioned, talk about a blindsided stab in the back. No kidding. No kidding. Then, in a video of the Falcons war room, the owner, Arthur Blank, is seen talking to the general manager and wondering why he made that selection. I would too. And we did during the neighborhood show last night. That's what we're all going, what the heck? Madungus Creevy thought for sure they're going to go to a lineman or defensive guy. Glenn Hauser was in there as well, but he's from the 5280 as well. He was shocked. He thought for sure they were going to go to, defensive player or wide receiver. I was thinking the same thing. There's no way. There's no way they're taking a quarterback. But they did. That threw a wrench into the Broncos, the Vikings, and the Raiders. And here's what let me finish this up here. That's what I did finish. I'm sorry. Yeah, they're wondering about the selection. So where does that leave? So before I get into the last topic, I'm going to preface it with this. This is fantastic. This is sometimes as a head coach, sometimes as a general manager, sometimes it's both. In a war room, you have to play a game of poker. You have to have a poker face. Sometimes you have to, you have to play chess, move your pieces around different ways, try and get the other guy off balance. And sometimes you definitely have to call their bluff. You have to sometimes, I wouldn't say lie, but I would say definitely, pull some strings and make some comments and throw some people off. Here's what happened. During the Broncos press conference earlier today, and also yesterday, Sean Payton revealed that he baited the Minnesota Vikings into thinking the Denver Broncos, were targeting J.J. McCarthy. Before I go any further, so Sean Payton basically said this. He and Sean Payton, George Payton and Sean Payton, both knew that the first three teams, who's the first one? The Bears, the Commanders, and the Patriots were all going to take quarterbacks because they needed them. Then he said they knew that, and they said there was a gap in between where they figured, they being Sean Payton, George Payton, figured that the next three teams that needed quarterbacks were going to have three quarterbacks to pick from. It was going to be J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix, and Bo Nix. Okay. So Sean Payton is talking to George and he says, I got a feeling that the Vikings really want JJ McCarthy. And I know that the Raiders really want Michael Penix. And we want Bo Nix. So why don't we do a conference call and let me do the talking? So George goes, fine. So they do this conference call, and Sean Payton is telling the Vikings and the Raiders, don't move anywhere, guys. Don't move anywhere. We're thinking about moving back, but you guys don't need to move forward because the quarterbacks are there. So don't worry about it because the Falcons aren't going to take a quarterback. They have no need to take a quarterback. So that just means that everybody can stay put and we'll all get our guy. Well, guess what? The Falcons threw a wrench in that when they picked Michael Penix. Now there's only 2 quarterbacks left of the 3 that were targeted and 3 teams that need them. Vikings at 11, Broncos at 12, Raiders at 13. So the Falcons were number 8. Well, guess what? Number 9 was the Bears. They're not going to trade with Minnesota. And Denver wasn't moving anywhere. But Denver was in play to possibly move up with the Jets at number 10. Well, the Vikings are sitting at 11. So Sean Payton throws out there and says, Minnesota, hey, man, talking to the Jets. Hey, we really like to move up to number 10. Really like to trade with you number 10. You guys can drop back to 12. Jets don't need a quarterback. They have Aaron Rodgers. All of a sudden, Minnesota panics because now they really want JJ McCarthy, and they know that if the Broncos jump over them and go the Bears or the Jets, they're in prime position to get JJ McCarthy. Well, everybody knew the Vikings and the Bears weren't going to trade. Bears aren't going to give Minnesota a trade. No way, shape, or form. Same division. So Bears choose their player. That leaves number 10 and the Jets. Guess what Minnesota does? Because they're panicking that the Broncos are going to jump over them and go to 10. So what do the Vikings do? They trade with the Jets. And they take JJ McCarthy at number 10. Now the Jets are at number 11. They don't need a quarterback. They don't need a quarterback whatsoever. And they don't trade with the Raiders. That only leaves Bo Nix. And the Jets take their player. And at number 12, the Denver Broncos selected Bo Nix, quarterback out of Oregon. Fantastic draft pick. I was elated. Absolutely elated for 2 reasons. One, the Vikings got their quarterback. That's my NFC's favorite team. That's my favorite NFC team, Minnesota Vikings. They got JJ McCarthy. I wish we would have gotten him, but they got JJ McCarthy. Denver gets Bo Nix, and the Raiders get nobody. Raiders don't get their quarterback because Atlanta Falcons, they freaking punked them. Atlanta Falcons punked them. Again, I never saw that coming, and I don't even understand why. And I know it's the quarterback of the future, and I understand you've got to take the guy that you really want to get. But do the right thing and give Kirk Cousins a little heads up. Don't let him be blindsided. I mean, that to me is just wrong. Absolutely wrong. Absolutely 100%. So that's great news. The Broncos got their quarterback. It's going to be interesting to see his progression. Does he start the season? Well, I guess when you draft a quarterback at number 12 in the first round, you probably should start him. He's 24 years old. He's a little bit longer in the tooth, so to speak, than most draft quarterbacks. Most draft quarterbacks in the first round are in their 20, 21. He's 24. If Denver can have him for 10, 12 years, he'll be 30, 32. I mean, sorry, 34, 36. That's a little bit late. But if we have him for 10 years, he's going to be age 34. A lot of things can happen in the next 10 years. So it'll be fun to watch his progression. I just wish we still had a Russell Wilson instead of a Zach Wilson so he could learn under. But hey, If he can learn the NFL ropes in a very, very fast pace, then I have no problem with that. But it's definitely a great Friday after the draft that we got Bo Nix, our quarterback. I watched his introductory speech and questions from the media, and he's super excited to be in Denver. Says he loves the city of Denver. He's already talked to several teammates. They're excited to have him. He said he can't wait to get to work. I mean, he's saying all the right things. Of course, you're going to say all the right things. That's what you're supposed to do. But I think he really means it. I really do. He said he got a phone call from Peyton Manning, congratulating him. He got a phone call from Phillip Rivers, and also an Oregon former Oregon quarterback. Wished him the best. He said he really appreciated getting their knowledge. He said he would even be willing to pick up the phone and talk to Drew Brees, find out what he knew and knows from Sean Payton and how he likes to work. So those are all really great things that a young quarterback is eager to learn and eager to move up. He said he can't wait to get with his teammates, to start working out and start learning the playbook and all that. So he's excited. He wants to do the very best that he possibly can in Denver, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. I mean, he's earned the number 12 pick. Thank goodness, he landed in Denver. I mean, Vikings could have taken Bo Nix and we could have gotten J.J. McCarthy, but everybody knew that the Vikings were targeting McCarthy. It's just hilarious that the Raiders got punked. And even the Chargers, obviously, they didn't need a quarterback, but they took a guy by the name of Alt. He's a left tackle, I think, or left guard. I think he's a tackle. And they say he's one of the best in the league, and best in the league in college, that is, or best in college, I should say. So Chargers got their guy. Vikings got their guy. Broncos got theirs, and the Raiders got punked. Can't be any better. Cannot be any better, guys. Really do appreciate it. Kamani said the Raiders got a great tight end last night. Yeah, they did get a good tight end, but they also have Garoppolo as a quarterback. So, I think obviously the Raiders were targeting Penix. That didn't work out. So now they're stuck with Garoppolo, or maybe, Ryan Tannehill if they want to pick him up, or somebody else that's out there. But excuse me, guys. But the guy that they targeted was swept out from under him by the number 8 pick of the Atlanta Falcons, which again is another really strange pick in my opinion. But hey, sometimes unexpected draft picks work out. Sometimes they don't. That's just the nature of the game, and that's just the rolling of the dice. That's all I can say, man. So Kamani says, I was surprised that Sean Payton took quarterback because Payton never drafts a quarterback in the first or second round. I understand. I totally agree. And I mentioned that in my show last week, that I would be surprised if Sean Payton took a quarterback. But then again, the Denver Broncos needed a quarterback. So was it really 100% Sean Payton? Could have been George Payton. Could it have been Greg Penner? Could it have been the ownership group that said, hey, you need to take a quarterback. You find the best quarterback at that position, not position, but at that draft position, I should say, and take him. I don't know. I don't know who pulled the trigger on that. But it did surprise me that Sean Payton took a quarterback only because he's never drafted one in the first or second round. And I mentioned that last night on the neighborhood draft party, and Glenn brought up a point, and Glenn said that's because Sean Payton never had to draft a quarterback in the first round. He had Drew Brees. He didn't have to draft a quarterback, and he had Tyson Hill. So it's not like he had to draft a quarterback when he was in New Orleans. But he had to, in my opinion, and opinion of a lot of people, he had to in this quarterback class because it was a very heavy, dominated quarterback class. So it only made sense to take Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Michael Penix. It made sense to take, that those guys came off the board. Absolutely made sense because teams that needed quarterbacks knew that this was a very quarterback-heavy draft. So makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Hey, Kiko Del Rio in the house. First time seeing you. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. Says, I'm so happy about this pick. We just need Troy. Well, Troy who? Who do we need? Troy? We just need Troy. Who's that? Let's see. Kiko also says this kid has confidence and wants to be here, and that is what I've been wanting to see for a long time. Absolutely. That press conference showed emotion, showed passion, showed gratitude. He even, when people were asking him questions, he said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. That kind of thing. I mean, the guy's got class. He's got class. He knows how to handle himself. He's very confident. Sean Payton even alluded to the fact that he is very knowledgeable. He's smart. He learns quickly. I mean, these are all great attributes, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait for preseason or OTAs or whatever the things that we see. I can't wait. I was excited 2 years ago when we got Russell Wilson. I'm more excited because now I know we have a quarterback, hopefully, that will be on this team for 10 plus years moving forward. Are the Broncos in the next 10 years destined for multiple playoff runs? Absolutely. Absolutely. How about a couple of Super Bowl runs and Super Bowl victories? I don't see why not. I don't see why not. I understand, guys, we haven't seen him play in the NFL level yet. But if everything pans out like Sean Payton thinks and feels, and like a lot of the media people in Denver think and feel that Bo Nix is the answer in Denver, then I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't wait. I have a little bit of reserved emotion. I get a little bit of reserved reservations because I haven't seen him yet. And I don't watch a whole lot of college football until it comes to the playoffs and stuff, which I did see him play. Not person, but, on TV. And so, I know that's a microcosm of his season, but still, I was able to see, the way he performs. And I believe I read a stat where he had 45 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions all season. Whoo, if you can do that in the NFL. But the window in college is like this, as far as, receiver to defender. In the NFL, it's like this. You got to thread needles sometimes. So it's going to be interesting to see how he adapts. But if he is as smart as Sean Payton said, if he learns as quick as he said, if he can grasp the situation, hey, we have a absolute gem at quarterback going forward. Absolutely. Whoa, Kamani says we will win this year. We will win what? We will win the division. We'll go to the playoffs. We'll win the Super Bowl. I think that last one might be an extensively long reach, because it's still new. It's still fresh. It's still hasn't really been proven yet. Let's take baby steps. I love your enthusiasm, Kamani, but let's take baby steps. When you say we will win this year, I'm going to say, okay, we're going to have a winning record. That's what I want. I want a winning record. I would love to go 10-7. Give me a 10-7 season. Absolutely, give me a 10-7 season. I'll take that all day long. All day long. Might mean making the playoffs. It might not. It might mean not making the playoffs. Doesn't matter. I want a winning season. Let's start there. We haven't had a winning season in the last 10 or last 8. Let's start there. Let's get a winning season, and let's build up on that. All right? Let's get a winning season 2024. Let's go in the playoffs in 2025 and deep. 2026, let's get to the Super Bowl. What's wrong with the 3-year plan? Let's start small, baby steps, and let's get the first step out of the way and then move up the line. That's what I'm after right now. Let's see. Oh, you said, will we win? I said, we will. Okay, I did it backwards. Sorry. I was asking how many games we'll win this year. Okay, like I said, let's shoot for 10. Let's shoot for 10. We were 8-9 last year. That's not a winning season. 9-8 is a winning season, barely. Let's go 10-7. That looks a little bit better. 10-7 looks really good. 10-7 looks really good. A lot better than 9-8. So let's go to 10. Let's get 10 wins. And as the season progresses, or gets closer to the season, I should say, we get into OTAs and all that, and we start getting into when they release, the actual schedule. We know who we're playing. We just need to know when we're playing, what times, and all that. So that being said, when it gets closer to the actual season, I will give you my predictions. Right now, I'm going to say let's shoot for 10 wins. That's only 2 more than last year with Russell Wilson last year. And I know that Russell Wilson's a seasoned veteran. I get it. But let's just shoot for 10. Let's shoot for 10. Hey, if CJ Stroud can make the playoffs in his first year, why not Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos? Okay. So I'm saying, let's go 10-7 and let's see where 10-7 lands us in the playoffs or just outside. That's we won't know until we cross that bridge or even get to that bridge. All right. That's awesome. Hey, Spence GC is in the chat. Thanks, Spence, for being in. Really do appreciate it. Since I've been calling this pick since week 17, approximately 200 years ago. Wow, dude. Oh my gosh, Spence, you never seem to amaze, man. You always come up with something spectacular. I love it, man. You're a classic, dude. You're an absolute classic, man. Awesome. All right, guys. Avalanche game is going to start here in about almost little less than about 49 minutes. It is on TNT and ESPN, I believe it is. For all you guys out there wanting to watch, real quickly, let me get to. Once again, I do have to say, it's on TNT, True TV, and Max. That game starts at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 8, 9, and 10 elsewhere, wherever you may be. I'm on the Pacific Coast, so mine starts at 7. Anyways, guys, just to reiterate, in case some of you did not hear this earlier, the Avalanche neighborhood with Mundungus Creevy and myself will not be aired tonight. That's due to Mundungus Creevy is hunkering down a little bit at his house. There's a tornado watch in his area. He's on the west side of Nebraska. There's a tornado watch, heavy winds, and a storm coming through. And he needs to be focused on his family, taking care of them, and whatever he may need to have to do to stay safe along with his family. And we both agreed that it just wouldn't be right for him to be doing the neighborhood when there's danger outside, possible danger outside lurking. So the neighborhood, once again, will not be aired tonight. However, it will be aired at 11:30 a.m. this coming Sunday, Game 4 from Ball Arena. Early start, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, and 2:30, wherever you may be. Okay? So sorry about that, guys, but it's better to be safe and be able to come back and do it on Sunday than to be focused on doing a show and not prepared for being there for your family. So Mundungus Creevy wanted me to share that tonight, so all of you would know. We'll keep his entire family in our thoughts and prayers that they stay safe and nothing happens to them in the storm that's passing through the western side of Nebraska. All right, Clayton Huron is in the chat. Says, hey guys. I say, hey, what's up, Clayton? He also follows up by saying, smash that like button and share, guys. Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Please hit the likes button. Please hit the thumbs up. We do appreciate it. Absolutely. That each and every one of you take the time to be in the chat and to watch the show and to promote it. Really do appreciate it. Kamani says, pray that they be safe. Absolutely, Kamani. I totally agree. And so I think it's the best decision to not do the show tonight, Avalanche neighborhood, that is, and pick it back up on Sunday morning and early afternoon, wherever you may be. Clayton Aron says, absolutely love our pick, my guys. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Clayton also says prayers going to the safety of Mundungus and his family. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this Friday show. Once again, thank you guys so very, very much for being in the chat, for your comments, for your thoughts. Everybody out there watching on, across the different platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, I believe. And I know they don't call it Twitter anymore, but I still do. Anyways, guys, really do appreciate me. Go down the list real quick, naming those that have been in the chat. Thanks again so much. It started off with Bronco in Virginia. Really appreciate it. Followed by G Money 88. Kamani was in the chat. Lino Martinez, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Travis Johnson, go down the list even further. Kiko Del Rio, thank you so much for jumping in. First timer, really do appreciate it. Spence GC and Clayton Haran wraps it up. Really do appreciate you guys each and every week taking your time out after a very busy week of work, taking the time out to listen to this crazy 65-year-old guy talk about Broncos and other sports. And just really do appreciate it, guys, that you are willing to watch and be part of it. It means a lot to me. Thanks again, guys. Really do enjoy your evening, wherever you may be. Enjoy your weekend. Hope to see you in the chat on Sunday for the Avalanche neighborhood. Until then, guys, enjoy Avalanche Game 3 tonight. Let's get a win against Winnipeg. Let's take control of this division, and let's get that W go up 2-1. Thanks again, guys. Really do appreciate each and every one of you. Love you guys so much in the chat for being on a part of the show, watching or chatting away. I really do appreciate it. Kamani says, appreciate you, Bill. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Absolutely do, each and every week. I've said it many times. The show would not be what it is without each and every one of you participating and making this show that much better. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. It takes a moment of your time. It costs you nothing, and it helps out this show and the network tremendously. Until next Friday, guys, enjoy the Avalanche game tonight, the Avalanche game on Sunday with the neighborhood, and we will talk to you next Friday. Till then, guys, take care. Bye-bye.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flame out. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my life.